you need to be brutally intentional with your life. Okay? Most people absolutely and utterly sleepwalk through entirety of their lives. So let's start with the bloody basics, okay? You're a human being. Now you might ask, well, why are you saying that I'm a human being? Well, the reason is that you as a human being are literally a biological machine made to achieve goals. Okay? That's literally what you are as a human. Okay? Now, what goals are you supposed to achieve? Well, that depends. Depends on where you live, it depends on the current state you're in. I mean, having as many kids as possible is one, if not the main goal, just repopulating. Genetics, survival of the fittest, that sort of thing. That much is obvious, but then of course on top of that you get all like shelter, whatever the fuck, to maintain your functions so that you can live. But essentially, you're made to do shit that helps you to survive and that helps your bloodline to survive. Okay? That's what you are as a human being. You're made to pursue goals. Okay? Like, what do you do in order to get food on a table? Like, of course, now you just walk to the fucking store. But what you would have done is you would have gone outside. You would have killed fish. You would have been fishing. You would have been hunting. You'd be up in the mountains. Doing all sorts of shit to get food. And if you weren't doing that, well, you'd essentially be resting or building something, preparing. But then you get to the modern day. So you have your 9 to 5, or you're at school, whatever. You do your work that you don't really care about. You get home. But then what happens? Where does that ambition go? It doesn't go anywhere. Not for most people. Like, granted, people have small goals. But very few people have actually aspirational goals. Goals that, let's say, separate them from the crowd. And so, if you're meant to pursue goals, what's the flip side to that? The flip side is that you don't pursue goals. That you don't have projects that you're working on. That you're stuck in this perpetual cycle that doesn't seem to go anywhere at all. And so the worst state mentally for a human being is to wake up in the morning and not have a single thing to work hard for. Now I'm not talking about working hard in terms of going to a job, but like actually building something. Something that you want to do intrinsically. Something that lasts. Okay? Like, go build a cottage. Now I'm not saying everyone wants to do it, but that's something you built with your own hands. That will last generations. That you strive for. But so when you lack that pursuit, that mission in the morning, that reason to wake up, that's when you fall into hedonism. That's when you fall into depression. That's when your life gets shit. Okay? Like, arguably, the worst thing that can happen to you as a human being is that you get everything handed to you. Okay? It's like, as an arbitrary example, let's say you want a Lambo, just because it's simple. You want a Lambo. Here's what you don't want. You don't want to be given a Lambo. Like, quite frankly, if you're given a Lambo, that's gonna fuck you up. And it's gonna fuck you up badly. Because you have no reason to wake up in the morning. There is no pursuit of that Lambo. No, you just have it. And you didn't do jack shit for it. You're not even happy with the fucking thing. Okay? That's how you end up depressed with a Lambo. And so, like, setting a Lambo as a goal, it's not about the Lambo. It's about who you need to become to have a Lambo. Okay? That's the bloody point. What character traits do you need? How do you need to live? How do you need to eat? Do you need to work out? Do you need to do this? Do you need to that? Like, who do you need to connect with? So forth. Also then, the best mental state, the thing that you really want, is you wanna wake up in the morning just ready to go. Ready to get after it. Now of course you might be a little groggy in the morning, okay, you wake up, takes an hour or two. But then you wanna be locked in on a goal. Okay, you're not gonna see up on my wall right now. Because that piece of paper is still empty. Gotta put some shit on it. But to the left, the piece of paper the furthest away, that's my 90-day goals. Okay? So every single time I look at that wall, it's like, okay, this is where we need to go. This is what we're waking up for. This is what we're doing. So that's the mental state you need to be in. Like, you almost want to obsess about this one thing. Okay, we want to go here, we want to do this. Like, if you go to the gym, like, set a goal for the fucking gym and be like, okay, what body weight do I want? Like, how much do I want weight on the bench press? Because what that does for you is you have something to strive towards. Okay, and then every single time you're in the gym, you're like, okay, let's hit this beer. Okay, boom. Okay, we're on track. Other way, if the best mental state is that of pursuit, actually, well, let's put it like this: it's arguably progress. It's being on the come up. 50 Cent has a whole song about it. And like, when you think about it, what's the best feeling that you had, like, for more than like 24 hours? And most likely, and especially for me, it's when you're on the come up. It's like, what is my meditation streak right now? Like, what, 39 days was my workout streak? Like, pretty sure it's 39 days as well. So when you start stringing together those days, heck, I'll be stretching every day for fucking 30 days. Okay, like, you'll be talking to people. No one's fucking stretching every single day, but here we are. The reason I'm saying this is because when you start to string together those days, and when you get over a month, you're in this mental state of, shit, I'm actually noticing a difference. I'm making progress on this thing. I got this goal that I'm striving towards. And we're actually gonna get there. Okay, that's the mental state you wanna be in. You're getting better every single goddamn day. So, where that leads us, essentially. If you want to call this a philosophy, call it a philosophy. But the stuff Hamza said, credit where credit is due. But what is the purpose of life? I think he said actually a couple of different things about it, just to be clear. But the purpose of life, arguably, is merely to get better. Like, especially as a man. Because you're in constant competition with everyone. And you're also in a competition, to some extent, with yourself. You're having to deal with your own mind. Like when you're at the gym and you gotta push through that last rep. It's painful as a motherfucker. But you're gonna have to sit there and be like, no, we're doing this shit. Okay. Like, you're not gonna fucking skip leg day. Okay? Because if you skip leg day, you can't grow. Like, here's the thing. Growth is the point. Getting better is the point. Because what does that do? Well, you constantly have something to pursue, which is extremely healthy. And not only is there a reason for you to wake up in the morning, it's also that your life literally just gets better. You're in better shape. You have more money. Like, you start doing all these things, like you're meditating. What's gonna happen is that your thoughts will be clearer. And at the end of the day, you're just gonna like yourself more. Okay? So you're mentally better, but you also like yourself more. So it's kind of a no-brainer. But then obviously with all of that, you get the status, you get the respect from other people. But this goes to something I've said in the past, which is, if you're not growing, you're dying. Okay? Because there is like, either you're getting better or you're getting worse. There is no coasting. And so if you're not intentional with your life, if you don't have a specific goal, if you don't have specific missions or tasks or whatever fuck that you can grind towards, you're just gonna get worse. If you at the very least don't have standards, like working out every single day, you're gonna get worse. But that feeling you get when you get worse is absolutely crap. Like, you're gonna feel like shit. I can't do a full day. Like, if you're anywhere close to being healthy mentally, you cannot go 24 hours and be like, fuck man, did I do anything productive today? I feel remotely close. Feel remotely good about yourself. That ain't gonna happen. Okay? So you need to set goals. You need to have projects, missions. It doesn't matter what you call it. You need a target to aim for. And you need to bloody shoot for it. And just fucking go for it. Okay? But then you might ask, well, what targets? Like, what? Like it doesn't... And especially at the beginning. Make it something tangible. Make it something that you actually want to do. Like, if you're already working out, but you're gonna be slacking in it, well, just be more intentional with it and set a goal for that. Like, if you're doing weightlifting, well, set a goal for the weightlifting. If you're doing running, set a goal for that. Because it's gonna make... Well, you'll make more progress. You'll get better at it. At the end of the day, you'll probably enjoy it more because you're making progress. Okay? So your life quality overall is gonna be way better when you just don't coast along. But again, make it something you enjoy. Make it something simple to begin with. Look, you don't have to like set your goal to be a millionaire. You can have that thought, you can have that plan, but realistically, and this is something that's worked the best for me, like when you set a goal, set a goal for 90 days. Because what happens with a year is that it's way too much time. Way too much. It's like, because like setting goals for a year, like, it's just, I haven't seen a lot of people who actually can set yearly goals. Because they're so far out into the distance that it's like as if you hadn't set a goal at all. Whereas if you set a goal for 90 days, okay, it's 3 months. So let's say it's right before summer, and you're like, okay, I want to get in shape. Well, that's enough time for you to work hard on it and actually notice something. Now, it might not be the biggest change in the world, but it's gonna be something, and you will notice it, and you can just imagine. Like, you step on the scale, and you're like, damn, I lost 3 kg. Like, depending on where you're at, depending on what the goal is, it might not change your life. But it's gonna get you in the right direction. And guess what? You can do 4 of those per year. And so what's gonna end up happening with 90-day goals is it'll probably surpass the goal that you would have set for a year anyways. So just get way more done. Now you might as well, why 90 days? Arguably you can go shorter, but 90 days, like the primary reason for it is that it just makes it tangible where you want to go. Like, let's say you're bulking, you can be like, okay, in 90 days I want to go up 3 kg, whatever. So like 6 to 8 pounds. And it's a short enough time frame where if you constantly remind yourself of it, like I got it on the wall, if you're constantly reminded of it, you'll be like, okay, shit, I actually gotta stay on track. I actually, like, it's the sweet spot for where you actually notice changes, but it's short enough to where daily actions count. Because, like, if you set a goal for a year, you can probably slack off for a month and theoretically still hit that goal. But with 90 days, you can't slack for a month. Like, if you're bulking, but you skip eating for a month, like, you're fucked. Like, you can't get to that goal anymore because it's so far out. And so it puts you on this, okay, shit, I actually gotta stay on track. And it does keep you on track. Okay? And so when you set a goal that you actually want to achieve, that you actually want to run towards, so you're gonna feel way better. But also the fact is that it's gonna start aligning your habits, it's gonna start aligning your daily actions to that goal. Because like when you set a goal, let's say you wanna bulk up 3 kg. Well, now you're gonna have to start eating differently. Okay. Maybe you'll have to look in your meal times. Maybe you'll start to do meal prep. All of these different things that even while you're bulking, even before you achieve that goal, they will have made your life better while you're on the path. As you need the goals, because the other option, if you don't want to set 90-day goals, let's just get this out of the way. Like, if you can't stick to anything for 90 days, and this is one thing, like, if when you set the goals, just make damn sure that you don't change them for 90 days. Like, if you're gonna bulk up for 90 days, for the love of God, bulk up for 90 days. Now, if you feel like you can't do 90 days, or really what you want to do is you start with 30 days. You do a month, you go, okay, whatever, it's May. Okay, by the end of May, I want to achieve XYZ goals. And then you start having, okay, what do I need to do to get to those goals? What actions would make it unreasonable not to get there? And now you have this North Star for your life. That's just gonna make you a way better human being in all different kinds of ways. Okay? But you need a plan, because the worst way to live is to roll around like a headless chicken. Because that's how you're gonna wake up at 40. Ugly, bloody, miserable. Because you won't have achieved anything. It's like you wouldn't have worked for free. Like you don't work without getting a salary at least. Like even if you're doing a 9 to 5, no one's doing that shit. So then it's like, well, imagine having lived for 40 years, but you don't have any skills. You haven't made that much money. You're not really in good shape. You don't really have any hobbies. Like, that's just a miserable way to live, whereas it's like, you know a bunch of shit. Maybe you're getting really good at psychology, whatever, or you know a lot about health. You're in really good shape. You have a bunch of hobbies, like you're going out hunting. You're doing all these kind of different interesting things. That also makes you, by the way, a unique person. Someone that's worth listening to. Someone that's actually worth respecting. So by now it should be pretty damn clear what path is worthwhile to go through and what isn't. As you really need to reflect on where you want to go. Like, who do you want to be? What type of life do you want to live? What type of goals are aligned with that? And then for the next 90 days, what are the goals you want to achieve? Make sure they're specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant. So SMART goals. And then just write out, like the way I do it is really simple. You just write the goal, like bulk up 3 kg, and then in a parenthesis, after that you write what you need to do to get there. What makes it unreasonable not to get there? So let's say you're bulking up. And you go, well, always have food in the fridge. Meal prep. Eat XYZ times. Learn about bulking. Read a book about nutrition. And that's gonna massively help. You have purpose in your life. Feel mentally way better. It's gonna change your life. And the way you start is just sit down, reflect, and ask yourself what you really want to do. And then you start paving a path. You don't need all the answers right now, but you need to take action. You need to start writing down at least some ideas about the goals you want to achieve. And sooner or later, you will have everything you ever wanted, but you need to take the first step. And the path will only illuminate once you start walking it. I'll see you in the next one.